Cuckoo darlings, how are you today? Happy weekend. It is a beautiful day out here in Brittany. Thank you so much for your amazing comments on the vlog and what I posted this last week. I'm so excited. And yeah, the big one is up on YouTube. And just so that you know, it's sort of a cool feature on YouTube. Not everybody that creates content uses it. But there's a chapters feature. And so if you go down to the description or if you look at the timeline, you could actually skip forward. And I also make it easy because I have the day of the week behind me when I create the videos. But you can skip to particular topics if you want. So voila. I have friends coming over for just, something simple, hot croissants and coffee. And when I went to the grocery store yesterday, first this season, there's this special type of strawberry that they grow up here. I wanted to introduce you to it so that if you happen to be in France around this time of the year, you can look for it in the grocery stores because it's not just up here in Brittany, you can easily find it in Paris. So let me show you what I also did as the tablescape for today. There's Pearl being a good girl. Hi, boy. I have these sweet little napkins embroidered with lavender, and so I decided to take this guy. I will post his name right now because it's escaping me at the moment. And I have this soup tureen. I've seen this done before. I really like the idea, and you just kind of put live plants in the soup tureen and elevate it on a cake platter. So I love that. And when we're done today, then I'm gonna take them outside and plant them. And I found this at a Bee Grenier. I think I showed this to you guys a couple weeks ago, but it's just so sweet. I put sugar and stuff like that in them for everybody. But this is what the strawberries look like. They're kind of a different shape, aren't they? You see how they are a little bit long like that? And this is just the beginning of the season, so they're not as sweet as they could be. But let me show you the lid so you can know what to look for. There's more of them. So it's all one word, but just for this, I guess, for the design of the label, they split it up, but it's gariguette. Probably butchering that, but that's the word you're looking for, gariguette. That's a type of strawberry that they grow here in France. And you can see it's coming from this place, Plougastel, and it's near my house. It's kind of near the ocean up here in Brittany and Côte d'Armor. But the name that you're looking for is gariguette. Now, if you like my walk and talks and some of the things that I chat with you about for just life in France, most of those subjects come from you. Your ideas, your questions, or something that you just kind of trigger in my head. And then I go ahead and write about it or share with you about it. So please keep sending messages to me. It really is very helpful. There's no bad question, no bad question. So always feel free to reach out to me, okay? Bisous, I hope you have a wonderful day. I don't know if I'm gonna post anymore, but I'm just gonna wish you a wonderful weekend. See you soon.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by. It doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone.
right, darlings, I have a girlfriend arriving any minute now, so this is gonna be quick. I have an invitation for you at the end of this, so please check that out. For those of you who are interested in possibly living in France, you will love this invitation. Also, I have some exciting news. My son is arriving in less than 2 weeks on May 4th, and he's going to be here for a month. I'm so happy. I haven't seen him in over a year. And he is bringing a friend with him that I get to introduce to you. So I'm like super happy about that. The roses, a lot of you are asking about them. You know, it's just one of those things that you have to wait and see. It's not going to happen overnight. If they're going to make it, if there's going to be some roses that make it through the Roundup mess, it's just going to take time. So, but thank you for asking. The roses that weren't sprayed with Roundup though, they are looking absolutely amazing. The buds are like, there's so many. And I noticed one of them is just starting to open. So when I've got more blooms to share with you, I will share a video of the whole space as well as the roses that got hurt so you can see what they look like. Other news, I have the new video in my next series coming this week. So top everything else, I got a whole new series for you. It's like a micro series. There's gonna be like 3 or 4 in the video series. And then tomorrow, I have a girlfriend who has recently listed the cutest house. It's super affordable out here near me in Brittany, but on the canal. It's so flipping cute. And so I'm gonna share with you a tour of the inside of this house so you can see it. And I'm gonna also share like some feedback on just what I see in the house so that you can kind of get a feel for it. And then speaking of homes, here's the invitation. So a girlfriend of mine, another Shannon, she lives in California, and during COVID, we got connected. She runs the Facebook or Instagram account, Bargain Homes Abroad, here it is. And she is hosting a online virtual home buying summit for those who are interested in moving to France or having a second home here. And yours truly is participating in that. So I am going to now cut away to show you Shannon and her channel and all the details on this. I'm not running this, I'm just participating in it. So if you have questions you'll want to ask her, but I invite you to join and participate in this really fun summit so you can learn a little bit more about what it means to buy a home in France. So there you have it, everybody. Lots of little bits of news to share with you. And now I think my girlfriend just showed up. So there she is. Bisous. All right, so in this 2-day event, it's 2 days, 27th to 28th, this is all about an online summit and regarding to your purchase of a property in France and a little bit about living here. There is a cost. So you can see right here, it's $44 US to reserve a spot. This is because this is such a full itinerary. Again, I'm not hosting this. My friend Shannon, who runs the account Bargain Homes Abroad, is. You can see the start date, and I do believe that this is all recorded. So you can, if you can't attend all of this, you can go back and watch it at any time. As you move down through this page, you can see day 1 versus day 2, and it's a very full agenda. You keep scrolling down, you can see a button that says view full agenda. So again, anybody who's interested in possibly living here, you want to explore this idea, you want to purchase a second home, this is a great resource for you. You've got Buying 101, taxes and finance. Each person specializes in these topics. So Shannon's gone to a lot of trouble to bring some great experts on board. You've got some additional details about this event down below. But again, if you pop over to day 2, this is when I participate. I come on around 9:30 in the morning and at this time of day. But of course, you can watch this from anywhere else in the world. And it's sort of a Q&A section that I am focusing on, more about like just kind of what I talk about on my vlog, what it's like to live here. But I'm going to be answering specific questions. This is by Zoom. Again, you can see right here, if you can't make it to the live broadcast, no worries. Everything's recorded and provided to registered attendees to watch at their convenience. So keep scrolling down. You get to learn all about it. There's Cutie Pie Shannon. Link to this is in my bio. So you don't have to worry about this. Don't worry. I'm going to put a link in the Instagram story, but there's also a link in my bio. So anybody that is considering moving to France, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to learn a lot more. And I hope you have fun. I hope to see some of you there. And thanks again so much for watching. Cuckoo darlings, I'm jumping on here real quick just to briefly explain in case you missed this. This is a property kind of near my house in Brittany that a girlfriend of mine, Jane, is getting ready to list. It's not on the market quite yet as of today, but it will be very soon. Now, this is just a very brief tour of just the outside as a little bit of a teaser, but I couldn't help. I just really wanted to share it with you. There are going to be videos of the inside of the house, and Jane and I are going to be sharing that on my YouTube soon. So I want to share little things like this that I come across. And I know some of you are interested in moving to this country, and this one, if I was shopping, I'd be wanting to go see this one. So I hope you enjoy.
Hello, and I'd like to introduce this wonderful property that's coming on the market. The reference number is JD4192. It's a 3-bedroom stone property, and this is really special because it's situated right next to the canal, as you can see. It has a gorgeous little summer house, which is just here. You can sit here and have a cup of tea and a slice of cake, or a glass of wine. But just look at that view. So peaceful and tranquil. The property also has a secret garden with a 1-bed cabin, which is just situated around the corner. So I'll show you where it is, but this is the property. It's lovely. It's had a new kitchen. It's all decorated throughout recently. There's 2 bedrooms upstairs and a bedroom downstairs. So the driveway is gated and it's all enclosed, which is great if you have dogs or cats. The location of the property is in Cottage Mall, which is it's not too far from the village of Le Moustoir, which is probably about 5 minutes away. The large town of Carré is probably about 10 minutes away, as you can see. And in Carré you have restaurants, doctors, hospitals, chemists, pharmacy. It's down a private road as well. You've only got one neighbour close by. Over here as well to your right, where my car's parked, you have another parcel of land. There's also a garage just on your right, and just on your left as I'm walking up, this is where the secret garden is. And you will find the cabin. And the cabin would be great for family, friends, or if you wanted to rent it out on Airbnb as additional source of income, you can do. And the current owners have actually just completed, refurbed the interior. Again, this is turtle enclosed, which is good for dogs. So here is the wood cabin. You have a kitchen, a bathroom, and there's like a bedroom with an open plan living inside. If you want further information, please look at our Agents Newton website with reference JD4192 for further information. The price of this, including agency fees, is €204,500. So please contact me if you would like further information. Thank you.
Where are you at today, darlings? You're in a parking garage. I took you to a parking garage. Just kidding. You're in Saint-Malo. I always like this parking garage because when you pop out, you're like right in the middle of like the port in Saint-Malo. You're like, ah. Watch. There. There's the port. There's the tourism office. Saint-Malo. Not fun. All right. When I was coming in, I noticed that the ship is here and he's not always in port. So I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna show you the tourism office. I'm actually in Saint-Malo for a doctor's appointment, but I wanted to show up early. The tides are low. Here, can you see? That's so fun. The tides are low, so we might be able to walk out to Grand Bay. There's a coffee shop I want to try, and I have actually a food mission today. I'll explain that to you in a minute. Let me show you the ship and the tourism office first. So where are these things? You can see the walls of Saint-Malo. The chateau, which is not open to the public. It's now the Hotel de Ville. And then here is a tourism office right next to the casino. And there's the ship. Let's do the tourism office first. Okay, so life hack for those of you that are new to traveling in France, the tourism offices are amazing. They have so many free maps and goodies. They're a great place to get gifts without searching for a ton of stuff. They've got lots of locally made products in there. Lots of people here to help you. So let me show you. These clouds off in the distance are a bit ominous. So right there on the other side of the wall where those cars are coming out from is the ocean. Literally right there. I'll show you in a second, but let's go over and see the boat. It's a big ship. Isn't that fun? It's so beautiful how it sits in the water like that. The term corsair is really popular out in this area, and this is one of them. He dates back to the 1745, and its name is Étoile du Roi. And you can privatize this. It can hold up to 350 people and go out on the ocean for a little bit for cocktails. But it is open to the public for tours. Normally April through October. They're just closed right now for the lunch hour. And those who travel with little dogs like I do, you can take them onto this boat, ship, but you have to carry them in your arms. So I only have one set of arms, not four. And these guys are too heavy and they're closed at the moment. But now you know. And the price is right here. So €7 for adults, 4 for kids, 12 and under, and 18 for a family. Voila. Right there across from the tourism office. I can already tell the tourism season is starting. It's not even May. The best way to get to Saint-Malo from Paris is a direct train. Sometimes it will connect in Rennes or other locations. You don't want those ones because that's just going to create complications for you especially if you're new to traveling by train in France. Just look for the direct. It takes about 3 hours from Paris to Saint-Malo, and then you can take a bus. You can grab a taxi. If you're driving to Mont Saint-Michel, you can grab a rental car. Yes, palm trees grow out here, as do a lot of olive trees. This part of France is very temperate and we don't get a lot of hard freezes. On this little esplanade during the summer, there will be booths with artists, which is super fun. This beach right here that we're about to go take a look at is not open to dogs year-round. So I'll show you the latest dates on that, so you know there are places nearby, but you're gonna need a car. So there's the ship, there's the tourism office. Literally right here is the entrance to the ocean. There it is. So 1st of May through 30th of September. No pups. What I wanted to do today was I've been doing some research, and there is 3 places that we are going to go into today, bakeries, to buy the kouign-amann. I'll show you what kouign-amann is. It's a specialty out here. Sort of think of it like a flattened croissant, but with a lot more butter and a lot more sugar. And we are going to do a taste test. We're going to figure out who has the best kouign-amann in Saint-Malo. And that way you know when you're here where to go. I noticed the carousel is on as well today, which is super fun. I love the carousel here. Well, you can drive into Intramuros, Saint-Malo. I do not suggest it. There's very little parking in there, and it's a bit chaotic to drive a car in here. Although I used to do it before COVID. This square right here is very sweet, but hyper touristic. I do not suggest eating here, but it's a lot of fun to come and people watch if you like doing that sort of thing. So this is again part of the chateau, but it's not open to the public. There is a museum inside, but this is the Hotel de Ville of Saint-Malo now. You can see over in between the chateau and the Hotel France, there's a door against the rampart there, and that's the first access to the ramparts, and then you can literally walk almost all the rest of the way around to this end. The only part of the ramparts you can't walk is the chateau part that is Hotel de Ville. For those of you who have been part of the community for a while, I'm sure you're going to ask me a little bit about the All the Lights You Cannot See video that I've been promising off and on for a while. It's still coming. It's still under edit. But I have moved out the publication to later on this summer when I have a little bit more time. It's just some of the work projects that I received this year just ended up taking priority. There was also opportunity to include some World War II footage that ended up not happening because they wanted to charge me for the time it took for them to cut all the clips, which is totally reasonable. They should be, paid for the time to do that. I just wasn't willing to spend the few €100 to do that for a free product, I mean, I would love to invest that kind of money for you to receive that, but that's just a lot. So all of those things combined is the reason why I haven't published that video yet, but it is coming. What is it? It is a walking tour of both Paris and Saint-Malo. I went through the whole entire book, All the Light You Cannot See, and I found all of the actual physical locations in Paris and Saint-Malo. So it's coming. So our first stop is up here. This is one of the main streets that you come into Saint-Malo on. I'll also share with you a location where you may not want to buy a kouign-amann. Look at these guys. Bonjour! This is the araignée that it's almost like a snow crab that is right here off the coast, and some people will free dive for them. They're not that far out. Pirates and pirate culture are a big thing here in Saint-Malo, and I plan actually to do a series on that. But this is our first stop. So it does say that he specializes in chocolate biscuits, but he's got a type of kouign-amann that is supposed to be absolutely out of this world. Anytime that you see this on a sign, that means that they have been recognized for being a specialist, an artisan in their industry. So let's go in. Meringue, macarons. Look at these. The shine on those is incredible. Gâteau Breton. This is with sarrasin or buckwheat. Same thing they make gaillettes out of. Biscuits, caramels, chocolates. This is what we're here for. They're like little mini kouign-amanns. You see how they're kind of rolled up? And they get caramelized during the process. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the regular, but you can see here there's almond, raspberry, salted butter caramel, rum raisin, orange cointreau, apple, salted butter, ganache, chocolate, pistachio. I could literally have all of these. Don't they look amazing? Places like this are also a great location to get gifts, like these little special tins. They pack so well, they protect the biscuits. Or a tin of chocolate here. Yum. Look at all the different types of chocolates they've got in here. No, merci, madame.
D'accord.
Yum. Everything looks so good in here. Now, another thing that's really popular out here in Brittany is this caramel beurre salé. So this is basically like you heat it up to put on anything that you want, like ice cream, but out here it's a real specialty and it's a great gift to bring back home.
Et voici.
Merci.
Avec plaisir.
It's sort of hard to believe, but after doing some of my research on this, on Intramuros, Saint-Malo, during World War II, 85% of Saint-Malo was absolutely destroyed due to the bombing. And so when you come to Saint-Malo, it's sort of an interesting thing to know, and like a change in perspective, because all of this actually is new. They didn't finish the rebuild until the early 70s. So most of what you see here actually is not old. They decided to rebuild it to look old. I'll stop there on that, but I plan on sharing a lot more about those interesting facts that I've come across in my research on this topic, but it's fascinating. It's obviously sad, but to me, it's just fascinating that they, instead of just starting all over again, they decided to literally rebuild from the ground up. And they kept the aesthetic of the original Saint-Malo to a certain extent, but then decided to change other things like the layout. So, but more of that to come. This cute coffee shop is our next stop, not because of the kouign-amann, but because I have not been here before. And they're supposed to have a great brunch. Look at that, Frenchies in the window. and a good chai latte, and I am always in search of a great chai latte. So let's go inside. Bonjour. Merci. They have a fantastic brunch program as well here with a great online menu. Like you can jump onto their Instagram or on their website. You can see all the brunch options. They have daily dishes. They even put the hours of the tides up on the glass here. It's just a super cozy spot year round. You can sit on the outdoor terrace. You can sit inside. It's perfect. I love this space. Right across from the coffee shop, which by the way, that's a great chai latte, is this restaurant. A little hidden secret. They have great steak frites. Wasn't that fun? Now I'm gonna share with you a place I don't necessarily recommend. It's super touristic, but it's not really the best place to get kouign-amann. And then we're gonna go to the next 2 stops. And maybe a quick pop down on the beach, depending upon how much time we have. And yeah, that's what I can fit in before my doctor's appointment, but I hope you're liking this. Isn't this beautiful? This is the big outdoor fish market space. I can't believe how many people are here already. So this, as you can tell, is one of the main tourism streets. I'm going to share with you all the stop that most tourists go to for kouign-amann, but the place they want you to go to, our stop number 2, is actually just on the other side of this church. And again, I mean, if that's what you have time for, it's not a big deal. But if you're a bit of a foodie like I am and you want sort of the best of the best, then that's what this little food tour is all about. We're searching out the best kouign-amann in Saint-Malo. Here's maybe where I wouldn't suggest you go. This is just a really popular spot for the tourists to stop in on. But it's not necessarily the best rated in town. We're gonna go on the opposite side of the church here. We're gonna go to stop number 2. How big their kouign-amann though can be. Look at that huge one right there. Okay, all I did was walk around the corner to the front side of the cathedral, and this is the bakery you're looking for. And by the way, I'll point out one of my favorite restaurants here. So let's pop in. By the way, this is a fantastic spot to get jambon beurre, all sorts of different types of sandwiches for a picnic on the beach. Beautiful desserts. All sorts of goodies. Look at these cookies. I love this bakery so much. Beautiful bread if you're staying here for any extended length of time. Gros beignets. Look at all these desserts. But we're here for the kouign-amann. Look at they're big. If only I could tell you how good it smells in there. I could have purchased everything. Look at, they even have cute little tables right next to the church. Isn't that fun? So sweet. That's one thing about Saint-Malo Intramuros. It's like very, I don't know, to me it's not as open. I have more favorite places nearby here, but of course you gotta come at least once. Let me show you though, I love Bergamot. Let me show you this restaurant with you real quick and then we'll go to spot number 3. Bakery's behind me. And there's a church, and it is tucked into this little corner. Again, so much of Intramuros is like car park. And I don't know, it's just, you can see all the buildings when they remodeled Saint-Malo kind of have the same very tall gray aesthetic, which was, you know, original to a certain extent. But it just feels very closed in and you can't see the ocean unless you're up on the rampart. But this is a favorite. I love Bergamot. You have to have a reservation. You absolutely need a reservation for this restaurant. But inside, Got mariage for our tea. It's just wonderful. All right, let's go up to spot number 3 and then scooch down to the beach for a few minutes. We have to. I was just talking to Jean-Francois in Bergamo, and I think I'm gonna go back for you guys and do a little, like more of a tour and talk to them about their role in Saint-Malo, and just so that you can really see what they're all about, because I just love everything about Bergamo. It's just such an experience. Maison Galante. And this is supposed to be a perfect spot for, there you go, kouign-amann. Let's go inside and get one. Third has been acquired. Just so you know, this store does not accept doggies, but she was super sweet and let me purchase the kouign-amann from the door. Look at all these goodies they've got here. So beautiful. All right, let's go to the beach. So for those of you who have seen All the Light We Cannot See on Netflix, the series, what you may not know is that most of it was not filmed here in France. Budapest is a very popular city to film Parisian scenes. Budapest is a popular place for filming due to taxes, resources, personnel, and the sets. The aesthetic of it in certain places looks like Paris, and so they film a lot there. This right behind me is the Grand Bay Hotel. 4 or 5 stars. That's one of your most popular ones here in central Intramuros. While most of the movie wasn't filmed in Saint-Malo or even in Paris, there are some places that remind me a little bit of the movie itself. This is one of them. You know the scene where the officer comes after Claire and they have that underwater kind of grotto scene? There's an access to the beach on this side. Can you see it right past the van? We're gonna go. It reminds me of that scene. It's probably the closest thing that you can get to it. Let me zoom in for you. But across the bay is Dinar. I talk about that all the time. And then right here, this is a public swimming pool, open year-round. You can see the diving board. And what happens is at high tide, the ocean fills the pool back up again. There's a couple of those along the coastline here. You can see where the tide was just recently and how far it has gone out. We have one of the largest tidal swings in all of Europe here, year-round. And it exposes this trail, this walking trail, to get up to the island. Do you see how where the sky is open, the color of the water changes? Sometimes that can be hard to capture. You can see it right there. It's the reason why they call this the Emerald Coast, because literally the water looks like something out of the Caribbean on clear days. It's absolutely beautiful up here. and there's tons of water sports. People swim in the ocean every day. It's not as cold as you think. For some, I mean, if you like really warm Caribbean type waters, for sure. But up here, it's part of a way of life. Isn't that pretty? But I can't stay up here for very long because I've got to start working us back to the car so I can go to my appointment. And I want the girls to have a few moments on the beach. And this one at the base of this Grand Bay and Little Bay are too crowded right now. There's one over on the other side of the castle. So let's go over there. Let's let the girls off leash for a bit and then we'll call it a day. This may seem like a big space. I'm covering a lot of territory, a big town, and Saint-Malo is a big city. I will admit that. It is a big city spread out, but Intramuros, where we've been, you can actually literally walk, because I've done it before, all of the streets in just a matter of a few hours. Like, it's not that big. But Saint-Malo is getting to be actually a really big city. It's got a lot of new construction in it. My favorite section is not Intramuros, it's Bretagne, where all the like 1920s and 30s villas are at. So we were just up over there and we're working our way towards the end of this rampart. Okay, so we just made a big loop. There's the backside of the Chateaubriand Hotel where we started. The edge of the chateau, which is Hotel de Ville. You can see people coming and going out of the door at the base of the ramparts I told you is your first access. And as we go through this gate in front of us, this is the access to the beach on this side. Well, this is it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of Saint-Malo. I'll jump back on and share a review of which kouign-amann won the show. I'll jump back on here in a little bit and let you know who's the queen of the kouign-amann, who won the taste test. I hope you guys had a lot of fun with this video today, and I look forward to sharing a lot more of Brittany over the next few months with you. All right, darlings. So I cut these in half so you can see and put them side by side because look at that, it's a big difference, don't you think? So this one is the Maison Georges right here. That's that little queenette, the small version. The Boulangerie at the Cathedral is the one in the middle. He's by far the biggest. Look how huge that is. That's like a little bit more than half of them. And then this is that last one we went to. I would say of the three, this one is my least favorite. Maybe you can visually even see why. It's so dense. Look at the middle of that. And his flavor is not correct. This is my second favorite. I'd say it's okay, but you can see that it's almost too big. It's doughy in the middle. And so all of the butter and the sugar actually doesn't really get all the way through. It just has a very doughy effect. But if you're looking to share a big one, this could be an option. Hands down, hands down, This was my favorite. Oh my goodness. I had to stop. Look at how different that is though. You can see how it still retains its fluffiness, but it's not overly doughy. You can see the shine from the sugar and the caramelization. It definitely has a good buttery taste to it, but and then of course you saw how many different flavors there are that I would go to town. So this is by and far the winner, if not one of the best kouign-amanns I've had in this entire region so far. So there's the results. Now it's time to go walk off all those calories.